Hey guys, this is Stock Market Investor Live. Today we will read the news at GMA Newsline online. This is one of the companies that we own. One of the news is Duterte sees Philippines new aircraft. Says he can't be brave versus China. So the news says that President Duterte said he could ill afford to confront China, lest the Philippines face consequences it wouldn't be able to handle. Duterte made the remarks at the Clark Air Base, where he inspected the Air Force's new aircraft and drones from the US, Poland, and Brazil on Friday night. I cannot be brave in the mouth against China because we are avoiding any confrontation that would lead to something that we can hardly afford, at least at this time, Duterte said. Duterte repeated the lines he had been saying since he assumed office in 2016, weeks after the Philippines filed a diplomatic protest versus China's new law, which allowed its Coast Guard to shoot at foreign ships in waters which it claimed. Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana also expressed concern that the law could lead to an open conflict in the region. Among the aircraft inspected were one unit of C-130H, six units of S-70I Black Hawk utility helicopters, six units of A-298B Super Tucanos, six units of Hermes 900 unmanned aerial vehicles, and four units of Hermes 450 unmanned aerial vehicles. The President did not mention the West Philippine Sea, but his administration has been widely criticized over the President's refusal to condemn aggression of Chinese military and vessels against Filipino fisherfolk in the West Philippine Sea. Critics and maritime and international law experts Professor J. Batong Bakal as well as retired Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio have been warning the Duterte administration that shelving the country's July 16 unprecedented legal victory over the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague will undermine the Philippines' position even if it has strong legal anchor. In that Hague ruling, the court upheld the Philippines' exclusive economic zone in West Philippine Sea and rejected China's expansive nine-dash line claiming the entire area. The same ruling also declared that Spratlys Islands, Panganiban, Mischief Reef, Ayungin, Second Thomas, Shoal, and Recto Reed Bank as all within the Philippines' EEZ, Exclusive Economic Zone, and that the Panatag Shoal is a common fishing ground. So, the President then said that he is a friend to both China and the United States, countries which have been different positions in the West Philippine Sea, which forms part of the South China Sea. China has refused to recognize the Hague ruling and is claiming sovereignty in the entire South China Sea. The United States, on the other hand, is for freedom of navigation in the area. I'm just a Filipino government worker working for the interest of my country, Duterte added. So going to the other news at GMA News Online, this is one of the company that we own. So, the news says today, February 13, 2021. Uh, the news was published 9:38 p.m. yesterday, February 12, 2029 in the evening. So I've just read this morning. So Philippines detects UK strain in 19 more COVID-19 cases. Total now at 44. Philippine health authorities have detected the UK variant of the COVID-19 virus in 19 more cases, bringing the total to 44. So this is as a full-time stock market investor, this is very important news because if the president will put the entire Philippines again into a lockdown, it has implication to our investment, to those businesses that we have invested, because it will affect the economy of the country. So going on, according to the Department of Health, the additional cases were part of the 6 batch of 718 samples that were sequenced by the University of the Philippines Philippine Genome Center on February 8. The 6 batch of samples were sourced from all regions, except the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, BARM, and were selected to ensure representation of each region, as well as areas where spikes in cases have been reported. So, according to the Department of Health, 3 of the additional cases are composed of a 10-year-old male, a 54-year-old female, and a 33-year-old male who have indicated current addresses in Region 11. They are all active cases with mild symptoms. 2 of the cases have indicated a current address in Calabar zone. So it's now spread. So it's already in Calabar zone. The Calamba, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon area. One is a 20-year-old female who has swabbed on December 22, 2020 and has unknown exposure, while the other one is a 76-year-old female who was exposed to a positive case last January 2021, at January 21. The Department of Health said that 8 are returning overseas Filipinos, 4 of which are males and 4 are females. The patients are aged between 28 and 53. So 6 of the patients are in isolation facilities while 2 have recovered. Meanwhile, authorities are still verifying if the last 6 additional cases are local cases or returning overseas Filipinos. So the Department of Health said it immediately initiated contact tracing and case investigation. So at present, the Philippines has reported a total of 545,300 cases. So reading another news from one of the company that we own, GMA News Online. So BSP keeps policy rates at record lows. So it reiterates inflation uptick transitory. I mean, it's temporary. Inflation will be just temporary. So the Monetary Board of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, or the BSP, decided to keep policy rates unchanged on its first policy meeting for the year on Thursday. Even as inflation has continued to accelerate in the last 4 months, at a virtual meeting, BSP Governor Benjamin Jokno said the Monetary Board decided to maintain rates at record lows. The overnight reverse repurchase facility at 2% and the overnight deposit at 1.5% and the overnight lending facility at 2.5%. The Monetary Board noted that inflation is likely to remain elevated in the coming months, reflecting the impact of supply constraints on domestic prices of key food commodities such as meat and vegetables, as well as the recent uptick in international oil prices, he said. At the same time, the latest baseline projections show inflation returning to within the target range of 2 to 4% over the policy horizon as supply side influences subside. The Monetary Board also noted that inflation expectations continue to be anchored within the inflation target band, he added. At the same briefing, the BSP Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Central Bank announced revised inflation figures for this year at 4% versus its previous forecast at 3.2% in its December meeting. So this is very important because our investment in SPC and GMA, our dividend yield from SPC is 14%. That is way above the revised inflation figures for this year, 4%. And GMA Network Inc. gives dividend at least of 5%. We also own Meralco, or the Manila Electric Company, who gives 5% in dividend. So this is way about 4% of the inflation, given the continued increase in prices of food products, specifically of pork. So we don't eat pork, we eat meat magic. So we're doing great in that portion, given the African swine fever outbreak. So inflation clocked in at 2.5% in January, to extend the upward trend for the fourth consecutive month and mark the highest since June 2019's 2.7%. But the BSP has maintained that the uptick is just temporary. So going to the Philippine Stock Exchange, the Philippine Stock Exchange. So this is the profile of the GMA Network Inc. with a ticker of GMA7 at the Philippine Stock Exchange. So the previous close is at 6.90 pesos per share last February 10, 2021. So last price was 6.78 pesos per share last February 11, before the Chinese New Year yesterday, February 12, 2021. So yesterday was a holiday. There's no trading at the Philippine Stock Exchange. So GMA 7 has an outstanding shares of 3,361,047,000, and the free float level, that means the percentage the public holds from these 3 billion shares, outstanding shares, is just only 21.45%. So we go to the profile of the company. So GMA Network Inc., the board of directors are Felipe L. Gozon, the chairman of the board. So Ana Teresa M. Gozon, Gilberto R. Duavit Jr., so Judith R. Duavit Vasquez, Joel Marcelo G. Jimenez, Felipe S. Yalong, Laura J. Westphal, and we have the former Chief Justice Artemio V. Panganiban as an independent director, and a former BSP, I think BSP Governor Jaime Silaya, independent director. If I'm not wrong, this Jaime Silaya was the governor of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, or the central bank, during the Marcos time. So the chief executive officer is Felipe L. Gozon, and the president and COO is Gilberto R. Duavit. So as an investor or an owner of this company, these are the people who who run the company. So they will be the one who will make sure that they can provide a good yield for my investment. So they are the one who operate the business, this GMA Network Incorporated. So the company description of GMA Network Inc., it says that incorporated on June 14, 1950. GMA Network Inc. is a free-to-air broadcasting company principally engaged in television and radio broadcasting, the production of programs for domestic and international audiences, and other related businesses. So GMA's subsidiaries and affiliates are involved in media-related services such as movie making, sets and props construction, film syndication, music and video recording, new media, online gaming, post-production services, and marketing, which complement the company's core television and radio broadcasting business. So the company's subsidiaries are composed of GMA New Media Inc., CityNet Network Marketing and Production Inc., GMA Network Films Incorporated, GMA Worldwide Philippines Incorporated, RGMA Marketing and Production Incorporated, GMA Music Scenarios Incorporated, Script 2010 Incorporated, Alta Productions Group Incorporated, and GMA Marketing and Production Inc., Digify Inc., and Media Corporation. So the company is also invested in joint venture companies including Inquirer 7 Interactive Inc. and in Philippine Entertainment Portal Inc. The company's affiliates include Mont Air Realty and Development Corporation and RJMA. So guys, this is one of those companies that we own. So our stockholders meeting is scheduled, as per bylaws, is scheduled every third Wednesday of May of each year at 10 in the morning. So the business address is GMA Network Center, EDSA Corner, Timog Avenue, Diliman, Quezon City. So this is one of the company that we own, GMA Network Inc. So thank you guys for watching. See you at the next video.